Hi, and welcome back to my channel. We are still playing Cities Skylines II, and we are still developing Springville and hoping that today will be the day we reach level 7 and might be able to handle the traffic issues in the city. Well, maybe not issues, but traffic situation that will become an issue. As if you saw the last episode, you could see that one person on a motorcycle could make the entire highway become a traffic jam. So that is something we have to look into. And as I ended the last episode with some struggles due to lack of demand in the city while playing off recording, the demand for some commercial and some medium residential housing ra- uh, went up, and I was able to plop down some new houses and stores in the city. And that's what we're starting this episode off with today. And I have spent some time looking at the people in the game and just seeing how they use the city, and looking at this person standing outside in the rain looking over the city of Springville. I feel like this is what I set out to do with the palmy spring tree district here. You could relax even in the rain and look at the city and the busyness of the city in the distance. And I'm liking how this is developing right now. It's what I like when developing a city. And as the previous development that we did in the last video settled in and people are moving in, the economics went up, and also the demand for other stuff went up. So we're not just struggling with the dreaded demand for just low density buildings, residential buildings, but now we have some other demands in the city, and that is making me happy to see that what we did and the tweaking that I did in the last episode without having to develop a large district again, it helped the city to grow at a faster pace, and now we are closing in on the new level, the level seven of the city development. That is the goal for this episode, and maybe to start building the highway around the city. And it also gives me the possibility to do the mixing I like to do, where I place down both commercial, residential, and offices in the same area or the same square or grid, just to have the different structures in the same area. Makes it more vibrant and lively, and it creates busyness in the city that I really like. Like you have an office and then you have an apartment building, and it turns out or goes along to become row houses, and also the loved mixed combined residential and commercial buildings that are popping up. I really like them when you have also that diversity in the city. So I'm happy, and that's good. And I have spoken many times about this area of town, which I don't like to call the city center or the downtown, but I guess this will eventually turn out to be the old part of the city or the old town. Many large cities have an old part, And I guess this is what will eventually become the old part. So although I'm kind of annoyed by the low commercial buildings that are popping up because I don't feel like they fit very well to the higher apartment buildings. I also feel that it's good that they are developing here so that when the demand for the higher density commercial buildings pops up and also the offices the higher density offices pops up, I can create the urban new city center downtown part of town another place on the map somewhere, so I don't have to go in and change a lot of the already set structure in town. And luckily, there isn't a lot of issues popping up above the houses and the areas, and that's good because that gives me the space and room to figure out what my next move should be instead of trying to figure out how to solve existing problems. I can think ahead, and that's good. And in the area around the bus station where I developed some of the combined areas. I think it looks very good. It turned out good when I added those, although it kind of looks weird with the low density residential houses that are next to it. I think that those eventually might turn out to become something else, but right now it gives a nice entrance to the bridge and the industrial area that is on the other side. So I think I might just put down some of them on the other side also to connect them and create a symmetry in the game, but I'm not there yet. But the money is going up, and there are some issues. The people living here they're not green happy. They're like, it's okay living here. So, and one of the issues they're having is the high crime. And I guess that's due to me not placing down more police stations. We have one police station, we have one fire station, and we have one medical clinic. And those are to all of the citizens. And the city is quite big, so I should probably put down more. But in the first attempt to make them happier and make the crime rate go down, I'll just add in some more police cars to be patrolling the city. And I think that the placement of the police station where the cars are just driving onto the right now busiest street in town, that also might slow the police down when it comes to getting out and fighting crime. So we will have to do something about that. I don't know if I'm interested in placing down more police stations because I think they're too big, but probably I'll place down some medical centers somewhere. I just have to figure out how to do it in the best and most affordable way, because although the finances are going up and we're earning money, we're not where I want to be money wise, and I have a lot of developing of streets and roads, and that is quite expensive. So we'll have to see how this turns out. And here we have somebody complaining about the high rent. So easiest solution is to just put down a park, so they have to find another place to live, and maybe think about not living somewhere with this high rent. So yeah, solution or problem fixed. That's good. And also some buildings are now being abandoned, and as I said previously, I like to just delete them. Maybe the problem will just continue because I build a lot of commercial things around this one, so maybe it will just have to become a commercial place also. But we will see. And also looking at the road here, I saw that the traffic jam was forming, but it went away quickly. I will have to do something about that. But I think most of the problems will be solved when we reach level 7 and we can develop the highway. And actually, we reached level 7 now, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see what we get with level 7. And with level 7, we receive more development points and we receive the possibility to buy more land. But what I'm most happy about is that we receive some money because, as I told you previously in another episode, I don't like playing or I like playing, but I feel not so content when the money is below a million. So now we're above a million, but we're like not that much above a million, but we're also in the greens. So I guess this is going to be the possibility for us to develop more. And also the demand in the city is rising, but not for the medium residential buildings. So that's kind of a bummer, but we have high demand for offices right now, and that's good, and also commercial and the dreaded low low density residential buildings. But yeah, and I spotted this man, and I felt like what I'm doing in this city now is making me want to do what he is doing, laying in the park in the rain, watching the sky above, and just feeling the rain on my face and becoming soaking wet because being happy for the money that I received that is saving me out of a boring situation is kind of it is how the game is supposed to be played, but I would love that I never ended up in the situation where I had so little funds in the city to be developing anything. So yeah, I feel like I should go out in the rain and lay down and make the rain just wash away my worries. But with the money, it's time to do some things. And first of all, I will have to move and change this area where I place down the welfare office and try to make something here. I don't really want to have the low density buildings here, though residential buildings. But as the demand isn't high enough for me to put in other stuff, I think I will start there. And also, this area will be, it won't look pretty because I haven't done anything with the terrain here right now. But off camera, I did some changes and it ended up being something, but not the perfect thing, but it ended up being more. I like it more than I did when the welfare center or welfare office was plopped down there. So it's a change for the better. So I'm just making a street and trying to also plop down some low density residential buildings and doing it with the filling of the green ones and living on the wild side again. My wild side isn't that wild, but it turns out that I I, I couldn't do it here because look at how they start building. It's like, no, you're not allowed to do that. Not in my city. Not now. Show me the money, or no, do not show me the money. Just don't do it. So I had to pause the game and I had to delete them, and then I had to put down the squares again just to have some control over how big they are building because I know I could probably fix it with a road, but no, I'm doing it this way. This is how it's done in Springville. But when this has been fixed now, I feel it is actually an improvement, and maybe changing the where the university is placed will also help this problem. But yeah, looking over the city right now, I feel like there is some problems lurking in the horizon over there. It's not a good layout of the old town city center, and I will have to figure out how to not have this many buildings abandoned, because that causes other problems. Maybe putting down the medical clinic is a smart move, but I don't know. But yeah, let's see how it evolves. But over to a happier thing, or better news for Springville. Off camera, I made something. It's a highway. It's going around the city. I started out with trying to adjust the terrain to where I wanted the road to go, but I'm just too impatient to do that. So I ended up stopping that because I ended up being in the middle of a mountain or something, big hill. But it is a highway, and there is a few places where you can get off it and on it. It doesn't look like the prettiest highway, or the highway is pretty, but the off and on ramps are not the prettiest, but I think they are functional enough for people to get off and on. And at some places, I decided I just want them to get off, not on, because that would cause traffic through the town center going onto the highway. And that would make the traffic situation in that area not improving but worsening. So I think we have solved some of the upcoming issues regarding traffic jams and traffic situations by doing this. I hope. But yeah, it was a process, and I learned a lot during this with how I use the tools that are given to us to make roads. And I'm not an engineer or a genius when it comes to traffic flow, but like here, I want actually to make a entrance to the highway, not an off place. So I'm fixing that off camera because watching me build the roads is just, it's not good because it involves a lot of deleting and placing down new new roads and making them look terrible and placing them again and deleting and placing and deleting. So and but on a positive note, and there's lots of positive notes regarding this highway. We didn't spend that much money on it, so it's coming along and it's solving a lot of the issues I mentioned before regarding how the traffic will flow in the city. So I hope it's a good move doing this. And although there isn't a lot of traffic in the city, the times when we saw the traffic being high, you could see the contours of the issues that would be rising later. So I think I did a good job here, even though it's not the most pretty highway or solution. It is a solution to the problem that I I feel quite proud about. And also just placing down a bigger roundabout here so the area doesn't seem as cramped as it seems before. And as I'm looking at the city now, I see that there is some problems with the weather damage due to bad weather in the city, but that problem will just fix itself, so I don't have to interfere with that. I can just sit here and watch the beautiful highway and beautiful curves that I have made. I actually figured out that the complex curve isn't for me, it's the simple curve that is for me when building highways. And that is something I have been struggling with, the curves, when using the complex curves, but it's actually simpler for me to use the simple curve. So yeah, learning by doing, as we can say. But it seems now that the traffic is flowing nicely into the city on every one of the places where you can get off the highway and into the city. And it's good to see, although the main entrance or the oldest entrance might be the one that is still struggling a lot. But that I feel is due to there being a lot of stuff around it. It's an area where there is a lot of things happening all the time. And we actually have a car accident. I think it's there's three vehicles involved, a motorcycle and a small little one and a bigger one. But it seems like it's been taken care of with the police there, and yeah, it seems like it's clearing up, and that's a busy road with the cars parked alongside the road and lots of houses and people walking. So yeah, it's a lot of things happening here. I think it's fun going down into the streets and watching what's happening, especially when there has been an accident or something like this. And see how the game is just playing out all these little things that are happening, and yeah, it's interesting to see. And we are making money in the city, and there's a demand for offices in the city, and these small houses, I will call them small houses. It's the low density residential housing areas that is needed. So I guess I will have to sit down and expand somewhere else. There's not much going on. I think I will have to place down another cemetery somewhere in close by to the leafy palmy area. There's a new medical clinic which I placed down earlier, and there's a school in this area, but there's also a lot of people living there. So I think for the development, I will have to also look into placing down more services close to them, as a lot of the other services in town is taken by the other residents of town. So although they're living in a nice area, they're not having much services available to them. So yeah, that's something I will tackle in the next episode, I think. But the crematorium, not the cemetery. I don't want to have another cemetery in the city, but I probably will. I'll just put that one down because of the that waiting for a hearse is the blob that appears most often. So I think that is something I can fix now, and also I think that I will be needing another road into that area from where I put down the crematorium. And yeah, looking at how to place down maybe more parking lots would be smart to avoid the cars parking in the streets. And actually, considering placing down this indoor parking space that is available, but nice. I think it's too big and it's too bright, and I would like it to be under the ground. I like those the most. So I opted just to put down a regular outdoor parking space here, just to see if somebody wants to use it and if somebody likes to walk from that one to wherever they're going. So, yeah. But it's coming along, and I think that in the next episode I will also get into the districts. Maybe I'll do some playing off camera and make the bigger residential area that I was talking about, and also placing down some districts just to see how that could affect the city in a positive way. And some commercial districts are complaining about the low amount of customers, but that's not strange due to there being several of the same type of business. So yeah. But yeah, 4 people at the bus station isn't a lot. So I need to get my butt out of the planning ahead or looking at the issues that might occur ahead and play some off camera and make that big, leafy, wavy, bendy area where a lot of residents can live so we get the population up to over 10,000, because I have too many services, but I need more services. So it's kind of I need to get more people living in the city. That would be great if we had 10,000 the next time I see you. But look at this car driving on the highway that I have made, looking at the snowy mountains in the distance and the trees that I probably will start chopping down soon. It's it's nice. I think people living in Springville they're content. We can all see that they're content, but I think they're content and relaxed and having a good time living their lives. So with that, I'm going to finish this episode here now, and hopefully I'll see you again, and hopefully you liked what you saw, and I hope you have a nice day and that you are also content with things. Bye.